The night was unusually quiet when Junho Park first heard the strange sound outside his apartment door. Living in a modest Seoul neighborhood, he was used to the typical urban sounds of passing cars and distant conversations, but this was different. The soft, almost melodic thumping mixed with what seemed like a muffled groan. Junho, a 32-year-old molecular biologist who preferred late-night research to social gatherings, hesitated. His hand hovered near the doorknob, curiosity battling with caution. Working at a prestigious research institute had taught him to be observant, but nothing could have prepared him for what happened next. When he opened the door, a figure collapsed directly at his feet. Not a person, not exactly human. Her skin shimmered with a soft silvery blue tone that seemed to change color with each breath. She was wearing what looked like a damaged technical suit, torn and scorched in multiple places. Her breathing was irregular, rapid, and filled with what sounded like pain. "Help," she whispered in perfect Korean, her emerald green eyes flickering with a mix of desperation and intelligence. Junho instinctively knelt beside her. Years of scientific training kicked in. But this was beyond any medical scenario he had ever encountered. Her physiology was unmistakably alien, slightly taller than an average human with elongated fingers and a bone structure that suggested a completely different evolutionary path. "Who are you?" he asked, helping her inside his small apartment. The woman, if one could call her that, seemed both fragile and surprisingly strong. "Aaron," she responded, her voice a musical blend of sounds that seemed to resonate beyond normal human hearing. "I am a traveler, seeking sanctuary." Junho's apartment was Spartan, bookshelves filled with scientific journals, a small desk covered in research papers, and minimal furniture. He carefully placed Erin on his sofa, noticing how her body seemed to adjust to the environment, her skin subtly changing color to match the surrounding textures. Her injuries were unlike anything he had seen. No blood, but strange metallic-looking, marks that pulsed with an inner light. She wasn't bleeding in the traditional sense, but something was definitely wrong. Her breathing was becoming more labored. "You're hurt," Junho stated, his scientific mind already analyzing her condition. "What happened to you?" Aaron's eyes, deep and intelligent, focused on him. "Pursuit," she said simply. "My civilization, destroyed. I am the last." Outside, the city of Seoul continued its nighttime rhythm, unaware of the extraordinary being now resting in Junho's living room. Streetlights flickered. Cars moved silently along distant roads, and the typical urban sounds continued, completely oblivious to this unprecedented moment of first contact. Junho realized he was potentially facing the most significant scientific discovery in human history. An actual alien injured and seeking help right here in his modest apartment. His hands were shaking slightly, a mix of excitement and pure, raw fear coursing through his veins. He noticed a small device attached to her wrist, a technology so advanced it looked like liquid metal constantly shifting and reshaping itself. Circuits and patterns moved beneath its surface, suggesting capabilities far beyond current human understanding. "You're safe here," Junho said, not entirely sure if he believed his own words. How could he protect an alien from whatever had been pursuing her? What kind of technology or threat could track her across potentially vast interstellar distances? Erin's breathing started to stabilize. Her skin continued its subtle color changes, now matching the beige tone of his sofa. She was adapting, camouflaging, herself, a survival mechanism that spoke volumes about her species' evolutionary capabilities. As dawn approached, casting soft light through his apartment windows, Junho realized his life would never be the same. Whatever story Aaron carried, whatever pursuit had brought her to his doorstep, was about to change everything he understood about humanity's place in the universe. A traveler had arrived, and nothing would be ordinary again. The morning light filtered through Junho's apartment, casting soft shadows on Erin's sleeping form. Her breathing had become more regular, and her skin now perfectly matched the texture of the sofa, a remarkable display of biological adaptation that both fascinated and unnerved him. Junho had spent the night researching, comparing Aaron's physiology, with every scientific database he could access. Nothing matched. Her cellular structure was unlike anything documented in human scientific records. Each analysis revealed more questions than answers. When Aaron finally opened her eyes, they seemed different, more focused, more aware. She looked directly at Junho, who was sitting nearby with a cup of cooling coffee and scattered research notes. "Need to explain," she said, her voice clear and deliberate. "My people are not what you might imagine." Junho leaned forward, his scientific curiosity overwhelming any remaining fear. Aaron began her story, her words painting a picture of a civilization far more complex than human imagination could comprehend. Her species, known as the Travelers, had once been a powerful galactic civilization. They were not conquerors, but explorers and researchers. Their technology allowed them to adapt to almost any environment, to communicate across different species, and to understand complex universal systems. But something had gone wrong. A conflict emerged from within their own civilization, a civil war that threatened to destroy everything they had built. The details were sparse, but the destruction was complete. Entire planetary systems were erased, billions of lives vanished in moments. "We were researchers," Aaron explained, her green eyes reflecting a deep sadness. "Our primary mission was understanding, universal connections. We believed in peaceful exploration, in learning rather than conquering." Junho listened, his scientific mind trying to process the information. She spoke of technologies that seemed like magic, energy systems that could transform matter, communication methods that transcended physical limitations, and biological adaptations that allowed survival in extreme conditions. The more she explained, the more Junho realized how limited human understanding of the universe truly was. Aaron's civilization had been studying cosmic patterns for millennia, understanding connections that humans were only beginning to imagine. "Why Earth?" Junho asked, the question hanging in the air between them. Aaron's response was unexpected. "Because humans are different. You adapt. You survive. Where other civilizations would collapse, you find solutions." She explained that most advanced civilizations became rigid, unable to change. They developed technologies that made them powerful but also vulnerable. Humans, by contrast, were unpredictable. Their ability to innovate, to think differently, made them unique. "My pursuers," she continued, "believe in strict control. They want to eliminate any potential threat. Civilizations that show potential for rapid development are typically destroyed before they can become competitive." The revelation was chilling. Junho understood now why Aaron had chosen his doorstep, why she had specifically sought sanctuary on Earth. She wasn't just running. She was testing humanity's potential. As the day progressed, Aaron shared more. Small details about her technology, hints about universal structures humans had not yet discovered. Each piece of information was like a puzzle fragment, suggesting a much larger, more complex picture. Junho realized he was now part of something far bigger than his daily research. He was potentially the first human to have genuine, extended contact with an extraterrestrial being. The responsibility was overwhelming. "What happens now?" he asked. Aaron's response was simple but profound. "We prepare. They will come. And when they do, humanity must be ready." The apartment fell silent. Outside, Seoul continued its daily rhythm, completely unaware that a conversation was happening that could potentially determine the future of human existence. Cars moved, people walked, technology hummed, all while an alien refugee explained the hidden truths of a universe far more complex than anyone had imagined. Junho looked at Aaron, understanding that everything was about to change. The hidden truth was now revealed, and there was no going back. 2 weeks had passed since Aaron arrived at Junho's apartment. The small research community in Seoul had become an unexpected hub of extraordinary activity. Junho's colleagues, initially skeptical, were now working around the clock to understand the alien technology Aaron had brought. Dr. Kim, a senior physicist from the National Research Institute, examined a small device Aaron had shared. It looked like a metallic pebble, but could generate complex energy patterns that defied current scientific understanding. "This is impossible," he muttered, adjusting his glasses. Aaron watched with quiet amusement. Humans, she realized, were remarkably persistent. Where her own civilization might have simply categorized and filed such technology, these researchers were trying to understand it, to break it down, to learn. Military strategists from different branches began gathering information. They were not just looking at Aaron's technology as a potential weapon, but as a solution to complex global challenges. Energy production, communication systems, environmental restoration, everything was being analyzed. A team of young engineers worked on decoding the communication patterns Aaron demonstrated. Her language was not just verbal, but involved subtle body movements, skin color changes, and energy signatures that suggested a multidimensional communication method. Humans are unique, Aaron told Junho one evening. Most advanced civilizations become stagnant. They develop perfect systems and then stop growing. You never stop questioning. Junho understood what she meant. When presented with Aaron's advanced technology, humans didn't just try to copy it. They wanted to understand its principles, to potentially create something entirely new. The Korean government, initially cautious, began seeing Aaron's presence as a potential global opportunity. International research teams were quietly assembled. Scientists from different countries started collaborating in ways they never had before. An unexpected development emerged. The technology Aaron carried wasn't just advanced, it was adaptable. Humans could understand its basic principles faster than any civilization Aaron had encountered. Where her people would take decades to share knowledge, humans were breaking down complex systems in weeks. Military researchers discovered something fascinating. Aaron's defensive technologies could be partially understood and adapted to human systems. It wasn't about copying, but about understanding fundamental principles and creating unique solutions. Communication networks began developing new protocols. Engineers started designing quantum communication systems based on hints Aaron provided. Energy researchers explored new approaches to sustainable power generation. "We are not trying to become you," one researcher explained to Aaron. "We are trying to learn from you." This approach surprised Aaron. Most civilizations she knew would either worship the technology or attempt to steal it completely. Humans were doing something different. They were learning, adapting, creating. Junho watched these developments with a mix of excitement and concern. He understood the potential implications. If Aaron's pursuers discovered how quickly humans were progressing, they might accelerate their plans. Global tensions began shifting. Countries that were traditionally competitive started sharing research. The potential of Aaron's knowledge was creating unexpected diplomatic opportunities. By the end of the month, something remarkable had happened. Humans weren't just understanding Aaron's technology. They were beginning to develop their own unique approaches. Small breakthroughs in quantum computing, energy generation, and communication systems started emerging. Aaron realized that humans possessed something rare, a combination of curiosity, adaptability, and collective intelligence that made them truly unique. They didn't just absorb knowledge, they transformed it. "Your potential is extraordinary," she told Junho one evening, watching researchers work passionately through the night. Junho smiled. Humanity was showing the universe something it had never seen before, the ability to turn a potential threat into an opportunity for growth and understanding. The hidden potential was awakening, and nothing would be the same again. The first signs came quietly. Satellite systems across the globe detected unusual energy signatures at the edge of Earth's atmosphere. Military tracking centers in multiple countries simultaneously reported strange electromagnetic disturbances. Junho knew what was coming. Aaron had warned them. The pursuers had found her location. Massive ships appeared without warning. They weren't like movie aliens. These were geometric structures that seemed to fold space around themselves. Metallic surfaces shifted and changed, defying traditional understanding of physics. 3 enormous vessels positioned themselves over the Pacific Ocean, casting massive shadows across multiple countries. Global communication networks went into emergency mode, but instead of panic, something unexpected happened. The research teams Aaron had been working with were prepared. Military strategists from different countries had been secretly developing hybrid defense systems. Using fragments of Aaron's technology, combined with human innovation, they had created something entirely new. Quantum disruption networks, advanced energy redirection systems, and communication interference technologies were activated simultaneously. The alien ships tried to launch their initial attack, but human systems responded faster than expected. Energy weapons that should have destroyed entire cities were suddenly redirected, their power dissipated by complex quantum interference networks. They expected a primitive civilization, Aaron said, watching the defense systems work. They did not expect humans. Junho observed the global response. Countries that were traditionally rivals were now working together. Communication was instant. Strategies were shared in real time, and a collective human intelligence was emerging that surprised even Aaron. Korean research teams had developed special electromagnetic pulse systems. Japanese engineers had created advanced tracking technologies. American quantum researchers had designed complex interference networks. European scientists had developed rapid adaptation protocols. The alien ships seemed confused. Their attack patterns, which had worked against hundreds of civilizations, were suddenly ineffective. Humans were not just defending. They were learning and adapting in real time. Satellite networks became weapons. Communication systems turned into complex defense mechanisms. Even commercial technologies were rapidly modified to support the global defense effort. Aaron watched in amazement. No civilization she had ever encountered had responded like this. Most would have been destroyed within minutes. Humans were turning the invasion into a learning opportunity. The confrontation lasted hours, not days or weeks as the aliens had expected. Each attack was met with an unexpected human response. Energy weapons were redirected, communication systems were jammed, and tracking mechanisms were constantly changing. They see us as a threat now, Aaron told Junho. Her eyes reflected both concern and a strange pride. Military commanders from different countries coordinated through secure networks. Scientists worked alongside military strategists. Every human skill, from complex mathematical modeling to creative problem-solving, was being employed. The alien ships started experiencing systematic failures. Their advanced technologies were being understood and countered faster than they could adapt. What should have been a simple elimination mission was turning into a complex challenge. Global communication networks showed something remarkable. Instead of fear, people were curious. Social media platforms were filled with people sharing information, analyzing the invasion in real time, supporting global defense efforts. By the third hour, the alien ships were retreating. Their invasion had been transformed from a conquest into a strategic failure. Humans had not just defended themselves, they had demonstrated a level of collective intelligence that was unprecedented. Junho looked at Aaron. She was smiling, a complex expression of surprise and respect. "You were right," he said quietly. "Humans are different." The sky cleared. The massive alien ships disappeared as quickly as they had arrived. But something had changed fundamentally. Humanity had just shown the universe that they were not just another civilization to be conquered. They were something entirely new. The world changed after that day. What started as a potential destruction became humanity's greatest moment of transformation. Global leaders gathered, not to discuss war, but to understand the deeper implications of what had happened. Junho stood beside Aaron, watching international representatives discuss the alien encounter. Countries that were once rivals now shared research, technologies, and insights gained from the confrontation. The invasion had done something unexpected. It had united humanity in a way no previous event had accomplished. Scientists from different continents presented findings. The technologies developed during the defense were revolutionary. Energy systems that could transform entire cities, communication networks that could connect global systems instantly, and quantum technologies that redefined human understanding of physics. Aaron explained that most civilizations would have collapsed under such pressure. Humans did something unique. They turned a potential extinction event into an opportunity for growth. Each attack from the alien ships was analyzed, understood, and transformed into a learning experience. The global research centers became something more than scientific institutions. They were now humanity's first line of cosmic defense and exploration. Young researchers from Korea, India, Brazil, Egypt, and dozens of other countries worked together, sharing knowledge faster than ever before. Military strategies changed completely. Instead of preparing for human conflicts, global defense systems were now designed to protect against potential cosmic threats. The invasion had shown that humanity's strength was not in individual power, but in collective intelligence. Universities started developing new academic programs. Courses on cosmic communication, advanced quantum technologies, and interstellar defense strategies became standard. Students were no longer just learning about Earth. They were preparing for humanity's potential cosmic future. Aaron became an unexpected diplomat. She helped humans understand technologies and perspectives from beyond their solar system, but she was careful not to give everything away. Humans needed to develop their own path. "Your curiosity is your greatest weapon," she told research teams. Not the technology itself. The economic systems began transforming. Countries started investing more in research and education. Technologies developed during the defense were quickly adapted for solving global challenges: climate change, energy production, medical innovations. Junho noticed something profound. The fear that typically accompanied alien encounters was replaced by curiosity. People were not terrified. They were excited about what this meant for human potential. Global communication networks showed a remarkable shift. Instead of fear-based responses, people shared scientific insights, discussed potential cosmic scenarios, and showed an unprecedented level of collective understanding. The alien pursuers, who had expected a simple elimination mission, now understood something crucial. Humanity was not just another civilization to be controlled. They were an emerging cosmic force, unpredictable and incredibly adaptive. Satellite networks that were initially designed for defense now became tools for global cooperation. Scientific research centers shared information instantly. What was once considered competitive knowledge became a collective human resource. Erin realized that humans had something her own civilization had lost centuries ago: the ability to grow, to change, to see challenges as opportunities. Most advanced civilizations became rigid. Humans remained flexible. International space programs received massive funding. Countries that never collaborated before were now designing joint cosmic exploration missions. The invasion had transformed human perspective from a planetary view to a cosmic understanding. "We are not alone" became more than just a statement. It became a global philosophy of exploration and understanding. Junho looked at Irene, understanding that this was more than a victory against alien invaders. This was humanity's announcement to the universe: we are here, we are different, and we are ready. The sky, once a symbol of potential invasion, now represented unlimited possibility. Humans had not just survived. They had shown the cosmos something entirely new. A civilization defined by its ability to adapt, to learn, and to grow. The unexpected victory was not just about defense. It was about human potential, and everything was about to change.